The aliens thought they'd seen every horror the galaxy could offer until the humans arrived. They called Earth a Deathworld, a cursed rock where even the air tries to kill you. Yet somehow, these fragile-looking creatures survived there and learned to fight. When the old Deathworld soldiers stepped into the Warzone, entire fleets held their breath. No shields, no mercy, just raw, unrelenting human defiance. And what happened next would shatter every alien belief about who truly ruled the stars. If that opening gave you chills, you're exactly where you need to be. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story with anyone who loves a good humans are legends moment. You'll want to stick around because what you are about to hear is indeed just another sci-fi tale. It's a declaration of what happens when humanity stops being underestimated. The chamber lights dimmed as the Galactic Council assembled, their voices low and uncertain. Reports had arrived from the outer sectors. Humanity was being redeployed. After centuries of silence, the Deathworlders were back. Ambassador Zix of the Varn Collective couldn't believe it. Humans? On the front lines? They're soft, they're fragile, Commander Vakvak's gravel-rough laugh cut him off. Soft? Fragile? You've clearly never seen one angry. Every eye turned toward him. Vakvak had fought through 5 wars, seen plasma storms melt battleships. Yet the word human still made his scales tighten. You think the Council is foolish, he said quietly. But the real question is, do you know what fear looks like when it wears a human face? Zix hesitated. They can barely breathe our air. How can they fight our wars? Vakvak leaned forward. Because they've been fighting a war since birth, with their own planet. Toxic rain, predators, disease, their home forged them like iron in acid. The Council isn't sending soldiers. They're unleashing survivors. A silence rippled through the hall, the kind of silence that happens right before history changes. Vakvak's gaze drifted toward the holographic stars above the Council table. 50 Earth years ago, he began, we thought humanity was a footnote, until the Harrian Collective struck Nexus 9. The younger officers leaned in. Everyone had heard the official story, the so-called combined galactic victory. But Vakvak's voice carried something deeper. Those history books lie, he said flatly. It wasn't the fleets or the admirals who saved us. It was a handful of human mercenaries. The room went still. He described the moment. A small, battered shuttle descending through plasma fire. The hatch opened, and out stepped beings wrapped in black armor, moving with terrifying precision. They looked like tourists, Vakvak chuckled. Then they started moving, and the Harrians began dying. He told of one human who ripped metal from wreckage and turned it into a weapon, another who reprogrammed a malfunctioning droid into a rolling bomb. Adaptability, Vakvak said softly. That's their real power. Humans don't wait for permission to survive. Zix swallowed hard. And the Council buried that? Vakvak nodded. Of course. The galaxy wasn't ready for the truth, that the most dangerous species alive wasn't alien at all. The sky above the Warzone burned red as the human dropship tore through the clouds like a falling comet. Inside, Captain Sarah Havoc Rodriguez checked her weapon, the faint hum of engines echoing around her squad. All right, people, she said, her voice steady. The galaxy forgot who we are. Time to remind them. The alien commanders watching from orbit were silent. The humans had arrived without shields, without heavy armor. Yet every move they made screamed confidence. To the aliens, it looked like suicide. To Sarah, it was just another Tuesday. Alpha Team hits the front. Bravo through the tunnels. Charlie takes command HQ. No mistakes. A nervous rookie swallowed hard. Ma'am, what about the alien reinforcements? Sarah smiled. That calm, terrifying smile soldiers learn after surviving too much. They're not in the plan. The dropship slammed into the battlefield, hatches blowing open. Dust, fire, and chaos swallowed them whole. Sarah stepped out first, boots crunching on scorched metal. "Smells like victory," she muttered, raising her rifle. Somewhere above, alien officers stared at the feed in disbelief. The humans weren't fighting like anyone they'd ever seen. They were hunting. The battlefield erupted in light and thunder. Human squads moved with frightening coordination, no hesitation, no wasted motion. While alien generals shouted orders through static-filled comms, the humans were already 3 steps ahead. From orbit, Commander Vakvak watched the live feed, his scaled hands tightening. "They're cutting through armored divisions like they're made of paper," he whispered. Zix shook his head in disbelief. "But they're not even using energy shields." Vakvak's jaw flexed. "They don't need shields. They have unpredictability." On the ground, Brick, a hulking human with a grin that didn't belong in a war zone, sprinted straight toward an enemy war machine. He slapped an EMP charge onto its hull and dove for cover. 1 pulse later, the giant walker collapsed in a shower of sparks. The enemy retaliated. More tanks, more drones, more everything. Sarah's voice crackled over comms. "Plan B, people!" Moments later, the horizon flashed white. A deafening boom rolled across the plain, and when the smoke cleared, the enemy column was gone. In its place, a crater big enough to swallow a city block. Zix stared at the display, trembling. "What was that?" Vakvak exhaled slowly. "That was humanity saying hello." When the smoke settled, the battlefield was silent, except for the sound of human boots crunching over ash. The alien allies stood frozen, unable to comprehend what they had just witnessed. Entire divisions erased in minutes. Enemy command dismantled before reinforcements could even form. Sarah Havoc. Rodriguez stood at the edge of the crater, helmet under her arm, watching the sunrise burn through the dust. "Package secured," Brick's voice came over comms, heavy with pride. "Good," Sarah replied. "Time to go home." As their dropship rose, the alien command center erupted with chatter. Vakvak leaned against the console, eyes locked on the ascending craft. "The galaxy's about to get interesting again," he murmured. Zix turned to him, still pale. "Do you think they'll return?" Vakvak's grin was slow, knowing. "I'm counting on it." On board the ship, laughter and exhaustion filled the air. But Sarah didn't join in. She just stared at the stars. "The galaxy forgot about Earth," she said quietly. "Now they'll remember." The ship's AI chimed. "Next target in 15 minutes. Sarah smiled. "Then let's remind them why they should have left us alone." And with a roar, the Deathworlders vanished into hyperspace, and that was the day the galaxy remembered humanity's name. The Deathworlders, survivors of a planet that kills for sport, had returned, not as soldiers, but as legends. If you felt the chill of pride, that spark of, "Yeah, that's us," then hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story with every sci-fi fan who loves to see humanity rise. Because this is just the beginning. More tales of the human frontier are coming, battles fought not with tech, but with will. Stay tuned, because the next time the stars tremble, it won't be from alien fire. It'll be from us.